The federal government has automated a passport application system. The Nigeria Immigration Service yesterday launched the automated passport application process to expedite passport acquisition by Nigerians, with an emphasis on convenience, reduced processing time, and an overall seamless experience. The minister assured the public that this new solution will enhance national security and data protection. And of course, with the new solution, application, processing, review, and approval will all be done online. Also, the minister assures that by February this year, Nigerians in the diaspora can also have this same experience. All right, so according to the minister, with what they've done now, they've reduced the process of requesting for a passport to about 6 minutes. This does not require anybody to visit the immigration office, and it will reduce the pressure on immigration officers as well. He also assured Nigerians that they've made arrangements for power and internet service providers to ensure at least 99.9% uptime. Gentlemen, is this fantastic news? I start with you, Mr. Digbenro.
You know, when things is just being launched and all the details are not well explicit for all Nigerians to see, I don't normally jump up.
What part of it isn't clear to you?
One thing there is this. I want to see a situation in which it's going to be broken down more than just their offices. If I want to renew my own passport, I don't need to visit the office. And it should be able to go that even women in rural area, all those men in rural area should be able to do the same thing. I recall in this Lagos state that for some of us that school in Lagos, at least have our secondary primary school in Lagos, if you want to do JAMB at that time, Uni JAMB and Poly JAMB, they did not born you well, you go reach Ikoyi. Because that is where they are going to write the center for you.
That's true.
When you want to go, it will be 3 days. That is where you are going to get you're not going to be traveling if you have to at that particular time. But now, at the comfort of your house, with internet and phone, you can pick where you want to write your JAMB. You can even if not because of the facility that is not enough, we have some centers. And now they are going that you are going to be doing it by phone. That you can use your phone, they will give you appropriate time, and you are going with your phone, you answer your questions, you submit. After submitting, they will give you your results. So we want a situation in which if I have been captured before, if I have done the thumb printing will never change till you are going to die. So faces can change. So but what is important here is that my thumbprint is very, very important. They should be able to do it that anybody, irrespective of any villages, any crews and knacks of the Nigeria that you can have, you should be able to have access to. But with what they've done now, at least one way or the other, it has reduced. But one thing here is this: they still have staff in that particular office that is still making this thing very difficult for people. Do you know that if you pay online and you get to their office, they will frustrate you. They will frustrate you. I'm having this experience, even as at yesterday, somebody reported that. Because I said, it's very easy now. Go online, make your payment, book your whatever. That is very easy. Say when you get there, they will put you aside like this. You can wait until you have to part with money or the other. I think they should also look at the human angles to it.
Okay.
All those staffs, because with this, they want it to be accessible, fine. But all those human angle of their staff is another thing that the minister.
They still need to tighten some loose ends. That's what you're saying. All right, Mr. Shokpiton, how did you react to this news?
I mean, it's all positive for me. I was very happy from the moment that they started talking about it, and as the minister was reporting the progress and telling us when it would take off. And now they say they've launched it. I can't feel anything other than joy that we've taken this step. We've heard things like this before from past ministers, and it never really quite saw the light of day, partly for the reasons that he spoke about. So what one will do is to say, okay, I received this with measured optimism, with some sort of cautious optimism to say, well, this is fantastic, it's the right step, it's the right thing to do, it's ordinarily, this is supposed to be ordinary. this is how things are supposed to
Ought to be.
anyway.
Ideally.
You know, ideally. So it's good that somebody has now brought it, you know, to the front, and we're trying to go the right way. But the minister now needs to go the next step to ensure that the system is not sabotaged, because that's what typically happens when you try to automate anything with government. The government officials that play in that space, the human angle that he was talking about, will ensure that it does not work. This happens in private sector as well. I'm a software solution provider, and I've done implementations in a number of places. And one of the first challenges that you have to deal with, especially when the more government-like the organization is, the more that problem is serious.
Why?
You know,
Why so?
Because automation by nature provides transparency and kills corruption. It kills all avenues and opportunities for graft, for extortion, you know, and all of that. If you've been pilfering, if somebody installs a solution that keeps a track of all of the assets in that organization online real time, your pilfering is gone. So the only way that you can continue in your old way is to ensure that the solution doesn't work. So what you tend to find is that in some cases, the users of the application, who are the beneficiaries of the old system, will start reporting that the application is not working. They will deliberately put wrong inputs to ensure that the application doesn't work, so that the vendor or the project coordinator or whatever will now be under pressure to try and fix problems, which will then eventually cause the organization to junket you know, that solution and go back to the old way. So I think this is a good move, but the job has just started. The minister must understand that the real work is in the implementation and in the smooth running of this. This, you can take it to the bank for free. There's going to be a very, very concerted, well-coordinated effort to make sure that this thing doesn't work.
Okay.
So the minister must have a contingency plan to ensure that that sabotage that is going to come, that he has an answer for it, that he has, you know, a way of also
checkmating that.
them.
Okay.
You know, if we don't do that, then what he's reporting is what we're going to. You just hear, oh, you need to go online. Oh, just go online and pay. When you get there, what you will meet will be different. I've not dealt with the system since they've started, but I've gotten some good testimonials. So one can only hope that the minister is ready. All right,
Mr. Adegbenro, let's talk a bit more about this human element, you know, angle to all of this. And Mr. Shokpito has also corroborated that fact that people can actually sabotage the system. But the minister, while announcing and also demonstrating, you know, how all of this, you know, works, he was so excited. Okay, so I think he knows that things like that might happen. But maybe you want to relieve some of those other issues, you know, that could be a challenge, you know, to this development.
Number one, Nigerians that are civil servants that are working in those centers. Let me use one as an example. The one in Malausa.
Passport office.
Passport office. If you have, ordinarily, how it's supposed to be is this: I paid online, then I've been scheduled. Through the automation, what I just need to do, with that schedule, there will be time there. If I get there at that particular time, I'm supposed to be attended to, but I won't be attended. There are some people that did not even, they didn't even go online, but they are ready to pay at that particular spot. They will give preference to them.
Preference to them, okay.
That one is one. Two, and they will not just give preference to them just like that, because they've robbed their palm. That one is one thing. Then two, when they see you that you paid online, you've been scheduled online, now you sabi abi, you go take. They want you to sit down. They will acknowledge that, oh, don't worry, they will check it. Oh, you've been scheduled, sit down. You will sit down for a very longer time. If somebody that has a problem, madam, did you still want to stay longer here? You say, I don't have much time. If you can, there's a way I can assist you. Before you know it, you have to part with some salary. Then three, if you don't know anybody, if you know somebody, or they know you, just like when we are doing our NIM, that I did in this local government there. Immediately I enter like this, if you see the preferential treatment they gave me. So I was just like, to feel that, when I come on here, I was say, no, it's very, very fantastic. They saw me, they just asked me to sit down, they gave me the form, they even gave me my to fill it. After that, they said, no, don't worry, now you are captured. And from there, within 3-4 minutes,
you were done.
So, but because of somebody that I am, that if somebody is too nice to me, I have to check it. I now went
You
outside.
become suspicious.
I now had some certain people, what have we said? It's they are collecting 5,000 naira. 5,000 naira. I have to call and call for me to know the real thing. So, and that is one thing. Then another thing again is that immediately it is automated. You block the way some silent civil servants will see money. You block it, and they will make sure they frustrate it. Because don't bother that the minister will not be in every center. He will not be the one that will be in front of a data capturing machine. He will not be the one that will move you from one place to the another. So automatically they will use that part, although they will still be begging for money. That one is still to some certain extent that they can just, okay, madam, give her for coke. You know, that one is still, but a situation in which they will use that process to frustrate you so that you can drop money. And that is the area that the minister have to look about. Even the embassies that are foreign embassies in Nigeria, Nigerians that are there are using the same system to even get money. Talk less of the one that belongs to us.
Thank you, Mr. Adegbenro. Now, I want to ask, now, in climes where their system is fully, 100% automated, how do they get it right? Because you still have humans, manning some certain, departments and sectors, even though the system is automated. How do they get it right? And how can Nigerians actually glean from that?
Leadership, one, then processes, two, then what would I call it now? A deliberate use of technology to monitor the people there. So you've deployed a solution. You assume, of course, there's going to be human interaction. So you must develop processes that will ensure that the human beings do what they're expected to do. You must have policies in that regard. You must now use technology again to check that they are complying with those policies, that they're doing what they're expected to do. So, for example, so that's why I said leadership. What's sitting at the top of all of that is leadership. Somebody that is determined to just do the right thing. But beyond that, you now build a layer of automation and solutions and processes to guarantee that people will do what they're expected to do. So, for example, in the case of Nigeria, what can the minister do? Put CCTV cameras in every single one of those centers, and by random sampling, develop a team that you trust that will review the tapes, from those places and all that. The only solution to this is to ensure that there are consequences for bad behavior. So you make sure that you can detect the bad behavior with the help of technology, and then immediately let there be strong signaling by virtue of consequence on those bad behavior. Once you achieve that and you do it consistently for maybe a 6-month period, people will slowly align. There's going to be a pushback. I think it's important that Nigerians understand this. There's going to be a strong pushback from the people that are benefiting from the old way. So that pushback, Nigerians must also help in pushing back on the pushback. So when we go there, like he was saying, if you sit down there, you've gone online to schedule, and then you get to the place and they keep you in one place. Eventually, they know the game they are playing. Eventually, they're going to ask you, do you want help? At that point, you as a Nigerian must know what is going on and refuse. And I know people that have done this. You refuse. A lot of times also, Nigerians were used to playing by the rules.
Cutting corners.
By cutting corners and taking shortcuts. You insist that no, they have said that this is how it's going to be. In fact, from the moment you get there and you begin to smell, Nigerians must understand that we need to be troublesome to achieve the Nigeria that we need. When people like me, I'm a troublemaker. I'm a troublemaker.
In a good way.
And I own it as a badge of honor on my chest. So you cannot do one way where I am and pass. I will deal with you. You will know. Even I do something, let me admit on air. Something a bit mischievous.
Confession time.
Mischievous.
All right.
I see Okada coming one way, right? And I'm driving towards the Okada. I will deliberately swerve towards him. And I will not leave until the last minute. So you see them slow down. And they're like, who is this? Wait. And then I get out of the way and it goes. Now, what does that do? I've sent a message to him that this thing you are doing is wrong. And it's dangerous. Because what if I'm drunk? What if that thing I did was actually because I was drunk and I didn't see him and I just knocked him down? Dead, right there and then. So Nigerians must understand that you have to respond to the things that we do not like to see in society. You have a huge role to play to ensure that the pushback doesn't work. So the minister will install, I'm suggesting to him, install a queue management system.
Which is
In
very
that place.
important.
It's critical. Automated queue management system that is integrated with the booking system, the online booking. There is a software that they've installed, obviously, where you book your appointment, you fill, and all that. Then it will take you to the payment platform. You pay. Once you pay, they should integrate it with a queue management system that will give you a time and a date with a ticket number, so that when you get there, all you have to do is to show your ticket number. The system would acknowledge that you are now present on site, and you join the queue. And you just go through seamlessly. Anything that breaks that, the system will report it. All of these things, automation will help. So the minister, if you need help, the help is available. I mean, look, there is nothing that cannot be done with the use of technology.
All right.
Mama P, you are smiling. I know why you are smiling.
and in addition,
Please
do you know that it is very, very important that Nigerians should also be speaking out? I won't mention the name of that bank.
That's the pushback against the pushback he's talking about.
Because it's in front of the Central Park in Songo. Songo Central Park, in that park. In front of it, there is one bank there. Because I want to collect only 50,000 naira. We were online. And you know the funniest thing? The cashier giving out the money happens to be my former student. Immediately I entered. Mr. Adebero, I said, continue doing your work. Don't worry. This line is not much. I will wait. Immediately I'm talking. He said, don't you see Shola? Shola, Mr. Action. Was any student calling me Action? I know he's my former student. Mr. Action, come. What do you want to? Don't worry. This line is not. I waited. This Baba Alaye coming. Immediately he called me, was calling the name of all of them, greeting them. I signed him like this. I thought he's going to be online. He went straight with his check. He dropped the check for one person and they said he should go and sit down. I was not calculating. I just prayed that this man should collect the money after I've left. But he won't leave this bank before me. I know that one. So immediately they are bringing the cash to give him like this. I grab it.
You grab the cash.
I grab it and I said, well, my money is not to this, but I will subtract my own and give the change back to you. If you like, give him. Everybody was saying, no, he made us here. Even if it was an emergency, he would have just talked to us. And he didn't say it because if you like collecting 1 billion naira here, me, I'm collecting only 50,000 naira. But I will leave this bank before you. So I grabbed it. The bank manager have to calm down. He said, Mr. Adebero, what did you want? I said, number one, tell this man to go and line up.
So join the queue.
I will not just collect my money. I will wait till they finish this turn before I get to him. They have to coerce the man, beg the man, because maybe he's one of their biggest customers in that branch, to go and line up. I collected my money truly and I waited.
Wow.
So that if I call those mama, they were just saying, those ones that want to even collect 5,000 naira, 2,000 naira, they collected before it. He was not doing like this, that is your problem. But one thing here is that Nigeria should learn and should know how to push back.
All right, thank you, Mr. Adebero.
I'm going to collect it just like that.
Thank you so much for making us laugh on the program this afternoon. All right, so like I said earlier, the federal government has automated the passport application system in Nigeria. All right, this is supposed to make life easier for both Nigerians applying for passports or renewing their passports, and also for the immigration officers themselves who are bombarded by crowd every day by people who need passports. Some Nigerians reliving, some frustrating moments they've had, having to renew their passport at the passport office. All right, so let's go through the step-by-step, guide to applying for your passport online. Okay, so the automated application process would include uploading your passport photos and also supporting document. Nigerian applicants who want the 32-page passport with 5-year validity would pay 35,000 naira, while those who want the 64-page passport with a 10-year validity would pay 70,000 naira. Meanwhile, Foreign applicants who wish to apply for passports with a 5-year validity period and 32 pages will pay $130, while those who prefer passports with a 10-year validity period and 64 pages will pay $230. Now, to apply online, you have to follow the following steps. Number 1, visit the online application portal, which is www.passport.immigration.gov.ng. 2, click on apply for fresh passports. That is if you're a new applicant. And 3, you input your NIN and that date of birth and complete other required data. 4, upload your passport photograph and other supporting documents. Number 5, visit the closest immigration office for your biometric capture. And number 6, within 2 weeks, your passport will be ready for collection. Now, for fresh applicants, you must be a Nigerian. Number 2, you must have your NIN. You must have a passport photograph that meets the ICAO standards. Go online and check out what the ICAO standards are. Number 4, have your documents such as your birth certificate, your local government certificate of origin, and other necessary documents ready. Now, if you are renewing your passport, you must have your NIN, have an old passport number, and then you must have a passport photograph that meets the ICAO standards. And lastly, have your documents such as your birth certificate, so local government certificate, and other documents ready. So that's it. It's as easy as ABC, really, if you think about it. Okay, so it's a new dawn for Nigerians when it comes to applying and renewing your passports, and we just hope that this automated system or process of getting our passport does work, you know, the way the minister is so excited about it. A lot of Nigerians are excited about it. But I know that in the weeks to come, a lot of testimonials will be online of people who have gone through this process, you know, as to how easy, how seamless the process is, or what the challenges of the process are.